Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. You are watching my fall card series for 2020. Let's go ahead and get right into the card. So we'll be using this stamp set from Sunny Studio, and this is the Fall Kiddos stamp set. And I'm going to be using the little girl with the umbrella. I'm just going to be using my stamping positioner here to get her in the right spot and make sure that I get a good impression of the stamp. And then I will be also creating a mask to pop onto the little girl to do a fun effect. And I lost the footage of this next technique, but it was very time consuming, so I'll just go ahead and explain it to you. So I used the Ranger Clear Emboss It pen, and I drew some raindrops all in the background. And you can see them here now as I am adding the clear embossing powder to them. So very time consuming, so I didn't want to include too much of it in the video anyways. So yeah, I drew the raindrops on, and now I'm adding that embossing powder, and I'm going to heat set that. And this is a fun way to bring in embossing and do that the whole resist effect with ink and embossing powder. So I'm just melting that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my ink when that is all melted, and then I will show you the embossing powder or embossing and how it resists the ink and gives you that fun raindroppy effect. And you could definitely do this in a stencil instead of this technique, or draw your own raindrops in, but I just thought this would be a fun way of bringing those raindrops in using the ink that I had. And this was an idea and I had in my head, so I just went with it, and I just really like how it turned out. So once that is all inked up, and I'm also using the Rabbit Hole Designs ink blending brush, and they are so amazing. So adding a little bit of water to give it that extra raindroppy effect, and also just react with the oxide inks. It looks so cool. So then I'm going to peel off that mask, and then I'm going to go ahead and color them in with Spectrum Noir markers and a few Copic markers here. And all the supplies will be listed down below in the description box if you were ever curious about the supplies I'm using. And they are affiliate links, so definitely check them out if you are interested in any of the products. And I will be coloring this in super simple. You could definitely switch out the colors for whatever colors you wanted. I wanted to make sure I had a few bright colors to bring in some fun and a little bit more color to this background. Even though it's bright and fun, it also has that dreary raindroppy effect because there's raindrops. So a little bit of brightness to the rainstorm that is happening in the background. And once the coloring is all done, I'm going to go ahead and grab the stamp set again, and then I can work on my sentiments. So I picked a few different sentiments from the same stamp set, and I'm going to be using the black cardstock here to create some strips to add to the background. And I'm going to be using white embossing powder, and it's just going to create that fun look of the old labels that when you touch them you can feel them. So I feel like that's it reminds me of that when I do the white embossing on the black. It just looks so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set that, and I will be able to cut them down and add them to the background and add the sentiment in. So this is just a fun, encouraging card for the fall. simply enjoy the little things, or enjoy the simple things. Hello, autumn, is what it is going to say. I didn't stamp them in order there, so that's why I was a little bit confused. Alright, so then I'm going to adhere all of these down. To the card base with my advanced tape glider. Enjoy the simple things. Hello, autumn. And then for the next part, I'm going to actually bring in some of that yellow from the umbrella back into the card base. I just felt like it needed a little bit more color in the card. Since there's a lot of background and not a ton of images and a lot of color, I wanted to definitely bring that color back in. So you're going to see how I do that here in a little bit. So stay with me to see how I finish off this card. So I'm going to first add a little bit of a black border. I wasn't sure how I was going to do the card at this point. I wasn't sure if I was just going to keep the black border. But as I kept working on the card, as I said, I felt like it still needed a little bit of color, and I didn't like how it looked just with the black border and the white background. It was like too plain, and I really wanted to figure out how to bring a little bit more of that yellow in. So you're going to see that. And I wanted to match the yellow exactly to the color that I'd used on the Spectrum Noir markers. So just cutting this out, cutting the border down, and this is how I bring that yellow in. So I grab the same Spectrum Noir marker and I just adding a border around it, making sure that it covers the areas that I needed, and I did go back in a little bit more because I wanted it to be a yellow border, and I just really like how this made that black border pop and just brought that yellow in and kind of tied it all together. There was color in the spaces where it needed to be, and it also brought out that little yellow umbrella a little bit more and added some sunshine to this rainy day. And then, because you can't have too much sparkle, I did go ahead and bring in my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen and add it on the yellow umbrella and the girl, and I'm going to go ahead and add it onto the yellow that I added in the background here. And I just really like how this finished off the card and just added a little bit more, and I also added it to the black. The sparkle looks so fun on the black cardstock. And the raindrops also shimmer, or not shimmer, but shine a little bit because of the embossing powder. It's just a fun effect, and it all looks very fun together. You got a little bit too much glitter on the top there, so I'm just going to go ahead and dab that off as well. It came out a little bit too fast. I'm just fixing that. And then that's going to finish up the card for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I have more cards coming your way. And I also wanted to mention the music at the front and the end of the videos. My husband actually composed the music on the computer. He's been doing that for a while for my card series. So definitely enjoy. I hope you're enjoying that music, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.